Start this off. There will be spoilers because our minds cannot.
Yeah, I'm not going to even try to filter that out.
What should not be spoilers?
Yeah, no way.
So spoilers will be had.
I got to say, I enjoyed some of the lewd jokes a little bit more than I probably should have.
Oh, that's what these movies are for.
Oh boy.
Should we see if we can top how many F-bombs were said in this film, in this podcast?
No.
I think it was 128.
Was it really?
Yeah. But the way they interact, and maybe this is, again, my desensitivity to these types of films, it didn't seem like they swore as much as... I mean, I know they swore a ton.
Oh, yeah, they absolutely.
But it wasn't like... It flowed with... But it wasn't like obnoxious in like some films where they just swear for the point of swearing.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah.
You do, like you say, it's expected. It's going to be there. It's whatever.
It started off.
Yeah, but it was funny.
It was funny.
It was funny.
It was...
Yeah.
It was almost too funny.
The cameos were next level.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
A lot of them. I had heard that, but even the radio cameo when Wolverine, or I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
And then The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, that was so good.
That was funny.
Yeah, even the jokes of like,
seconds.
we'll make Wolverine sing music, the first act of Music Man, without any warm-ups.
Right, exactly. No, that was good. $200 million budget, $630 million as of August the 2nd.
The highest opening R-rated movie in history.
In history?
I believe so.
Wow.
I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time, but I believe it was, which would make sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Because I'm assuming there's little ones that probably shouldn't have seen this film that did see the film because of Deadpool and the superhero wave.
Yeah. I didn't care much for the Marvel Jesus.
That was
the over and over.
It was so awkward.
It was really kind of weird. I think that I wouldn't have liked it any time, but no. I think that once is like
enough.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Right. Like I just didn't understand why over and over and over again.
Well, and here's the thing: is that this film, what Deadpool can do, because he breaks the fourth walls and has a bigger understanding of the universe from like a viewer side of things, versus like, Captain America is going to be Captain America and not have self-awareness of like, oh, this is a movie franchise, like, and step out into that realm.
Right.
And so, to me, what I thought was going to happen in this film, which really didn't happen, is that I thought Deadpool was going to cut things from the Marvel, like things that have happened, retcon a bunch of different things, and didn't really do any of that, which again, there's two sides of the coin on that one of like, that's probably a good thing long term. But why was he Marvel Jesus? Like, he didn't do anything.
No, right. Yeah. Exactly. I think the intention behind it was Marvel savior. I mean, I think that was ultimately what it was. So you're kind of acknowledging that Jesus is savior, which is, I guess, okay.
Yeah.
But you also can't mock Jesus,
right?
And so, it was too much. But I'm just an old prude, I guess, and whatever. But
you can say that again.
I'm just an old prude, I guess.
He sure is. This guy. He's an old prude.
Exactly. So I guess that the comedy of it to me, and it's like any kind of comic, is too much repetition. Just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So that's for me.
A lot of times jokes you can maybe tell it once or twice.
Yeah, in 2 hours though.
Right.
Once.
Right.
The other thing that they kind of did a little bit too much, I thought, was kind of the characters nobody remembered.
Yeah.
That was kind of. I think they did that like 3 times or something like that. Twice at least. I can think of. I just have that feeling that they kind of overdid that as well.
Well, they knew, and so then there's a horse that's on a field that's dead, and they're just beating it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I guess any Marvel fan, all you have to do is say it once,
right?
And
they're aware,
and that's not even for them.
Yeah.
Like if you're a Marvel fan, you know who Elektra is.
Yeah.
The funny part is like Daredevil.
Yeah.
And
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, exactly. And so when she says, "That's
fine,"
So you kind of get that too, right? As on a personal level between the two of them personally.
Right.
But it's just weird that they kind of, the repetition on some of that stuff. So I don't know if they're trying to bring in younger, newer viewers and helping them understand that, or what the deal was there. But
do you think if this was your first Marvel film, which is very, 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 very unlikely.
Oh, there's no way this is anybody's first Marvel film.
But even if it's like you've seen the first Iron Man, you've seen the first Thor, Captain America, the Avenger films, and that's it. There's so much of this film that's banking on you understanding the background information.
Yeah, there is, and I think I think it's pretty surface level though. You don't have to see Iron Man 3.
No.
You don't, they do make reference to like Endgame for the multiverse thing and some of that as a joke, obviously. So they kind of bring it in.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't catch though, and maybe I just missed it. You've seen it twice, you said.
I have.
So Black Panther stuff.
Yeah.
I think they hit a lot of other things, but I didn't really see Black Panther.
No.
So that I didn't quite understand. But maybe I just missed it.
Yeah, there's a good chance. There's so much said in this film.
There's a lot.
And it was fast-paced talk versus like they made the joke about Hugh Jackman being divorced and having himself killed. Like just all those small lines that are just in this whole film that just
zingers.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of a, I don't know, that's a little bit of a low blow.
Yeah.
Some of those, but maybe it's okay, I guess. They
have a good enough respect of each other where I think if Hugh didn't was really offended by it, he would have cut it.
Right.
Yeah.
But it might offend other people.
That's true. That's true.
I guess.
They really don't care who they offend though in this film.
No, not in this film, but yeah. I mean, but you have, I guess my point being is you have Hugh Jackman coming on and doing these things saying, well, we have mutual respect, and this is, we're parting amicably or whatever and all that kind of stuff. And then you have that kind of thing. It's like, okay, I don't know. Whatever. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out. I don't really have a specific feeling about it other than I was surprised.
I watched this film twice, mostly because I watched it the first time. I really enjoyed it, and then I started digesting it when it comes to the story, to the bigger impact of the universe, and I was like, was it actually that good?
No.
And what I started thinking about was there was this whole middle section that all these zingers, very entertaining, all these cameos, very fun to watch for the first time. But how long is that stuff going to last? Like second, third, fourth viewing when you already know about the cameos. The zingers are going to be funny no matter what. But a lot of them could pass too. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to watch this film in 3D.
So what did you think the second time?
I really enjoyed the beginning. That opening scene is probably one of the best opening scenes of a film that I've ever seen.
Yes.
And the end sequence, music-wise, I was very, very... It was way over the top. They were very self-aware of that, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The whole middle section, I'm like, I don't know.
It doesn't hold up for story.
No.
I mean, there's a few parts that would hold up, but in 10 years, 5 years, it won't hold up.
No. It's like No Way Home.
Right.
Nobody, when it first came out, love, praise for all the cameos, the respect and love for the characters. 2 years down the line, it's like, I actually don't really, I still do enjoy watching, but it's considered more of an awkward film.
Right. I haven't seen it but the once.
Yeah.
So
I think I've seen it twice.
And I just wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
We didn't review that one.
I don't think we did. I think we did that one.
But at any rate, it's let's get into character chemistry.
Yeah.
Let's get into the cinematography
and overall a spoiler.
Entertainment. Yeah, let's do it.
We talked about actor chemistry. Who is your biggest surprise cameo in this film?
Surprise?
Yeah. Probably surprise, and which one did you enjoy the most?
The one I enjoyed the most would probably be the whole rip on DC.
Yeah.
With Henry Cavill.
Here's the thing, though. People agree he could be the next Wolverine.
He certainly could be, and I'm wondering if there's a little bit of a secret there that they're trying to get that to work, and then they'll get audience feedback. I don't know. That's the first impression I got.
Side tangent. This is a big side tangent. I don't know if we're going to talk about it here, off, or wherever.
Sure.
Did you see RDJ, the news about him?
Yes.
That's going to be insane. Robert Downey Jr. being Victor Von Doom.
Yes. It'll be interesting how they write the story.
Yeah.
I think there are two sides to that coin.
Right.
I mean, very much two sides to that coin. There's a lot of diehard RDJ fans that are really pissed.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back.
Right.
You know, blah blah blah. This is final. They this had to happen this way.
Right.
I'm on and on. And then he does this. That's a pretty big blow.
Yeah.
I don't really care because
intrigued.
they're only doing it for money anyway.
Right.
I mean,
I think Robert Downey Jr. after Oppenheimer and seeing that film, him playing more of a villain role and a very calculated villain, will be interesting to see what that looks like as a huge overall arcing villain in the Marvel universe.
It will. They have to rescue. I mean, Marvel, I should say, needs rescuing.
Yeah.
And he might be the rescuer.
Yeah.
Deadpool's not going to be.
No.
I mean, it's just not. It makes him some money.
Here's the thing: is this movie needed to tie in better to the overall universe to actually feel like Marvel is recovering.
Right.
Versus, no, this is more of a standalone film that you can, again, it helps you to have the background and understanding, but again, you could separate, pull this out, and it has no impact on any of the films.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nor will it generate. I was hoping that this would generate kind of a sense in me that, okay, I'll start to invest a little bit more time in Marvel.
Yeah.
Did not do.
I was hoping there'd be more X-Men.
Yes.
Let's merge these universes together.
Yes.
Like,
I think that's their plan, though,
right.
in the future here. But yeah, no, it didn't. It just didn't do any of the things that it needs to do to save Marvel.
Right.
I mean, from my perspective, at least, from an entertainment value to me, I mean, they're throwing so much stuff out there in the Marvel universe that it's like, do something that
has to stick. Like, that's their mentality, and it's like, nope, actually, this is all like.
If you just slow down for a minute and do things good and deep and write them well and
care for the characters.
But so Robert could do that.
He could.
He really could do that for Marvel. I think that he has enough pull to say, look, this story's garbage. I'm not going to do it.
That's how the Russo brothers got back into the other Avengers, was because of the pull.
Yes. So time will tell.
So Henry Cavill was your favorite?
He was probably my favorite. And the one I was most surprised about was Elektra.
Yeah.
Was Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
So that was, I did not see that one coming.
No.
I did, however, hear that Wesley Snipes is one of those things that I just pulled up, Facebook or Instagram or something. See. And I didn't hear, I just sort of had an impression because I pulled something like, whoa, keep, but I wasn't positive. So, but Wesley Snipes to me is whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he did great as Blade.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but whatever.
Luckily, he didn't do much. About as small of a role you can get for what his character was.
He's one of the biggest jerks on the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked to people who have had like major interactions with him, and he's just a massive. So even after all this trouble, prison. Didn't he go to prison? I think. I think he went to prison for a little while. At any rate, so Jennifer Garner, surprise. Did not see that one coming.
I didn't see Chris Pine coming. Or not Chris Pine. Chris? No, I'm not going to get it.
Evans.
There's too many Chris's.
There's a lot of Chris's.
So I didn't see him coming in, and I thought
I had heard that. I had read that Captain America was doing a cameo, but that it was going to surprise him. And so
I somehow avoided that.
Yes. So I'm not sure what that meant because Captain America did not.
No.
But Chris Evans did.
Yeah. His character was fun in this film as Johnny Flame. So that was probably
especially
my biggest...
post.
Yeah. Let's set the record straight.
That was funny.
I think the one I actually enjoyed the most was it was really fun watching, my names are just going out. Gambit was a fun one.
Channing Tatum. Yeah.
I love that nobody could understand him, but he had the best time of his life.
Right.
And then the joke was constantly of like, was I born here or was I, sent here later? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
And so it's cool. Like that was a cameo too, where you knew that he wanted to play that role and cards never played out.
Right.
Pun not intended. And he could just have the time of his life in a small role that again, it could go if you want, if people like it enough.
Yeah,
or,
I would totally sign up for seeing him as Gambit.
It was so good.
It was fun.
Yeah. So that was probably the one I enjoyed the most. It was funny.
Yeah, that's good.
I saw Elektra. Elektra was one that I had somewhat knew about beforehand.
Okay.
So I was not too.
Yeah.
And then A23 made sense because of how the beginning of the film worked. Of like they really emphasized that death scene and providing opportunities for the kids. Well, now the kids coming back. So that was like, it's cool that they did that circle.
Yeah, that did make a lot of sense to do it that way. But so character chemistry, I gotta say, I mean, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, they are very good together.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really fun to watch them.
And Hugh Jackman was amazing.
Yeah.
His emotion and depth that he had, because he's played this character for so long, but just his actor ability in general.
I think though, for him, I think he's a stage actor.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a theater actor, and so he just has that.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really, really good.
He was my favorite part of this film.
Yeah. It was fun how they made fun of him, coming back and
you'll be playing this role until you're 90.
Yeah, exactly.
Or that Disney cash.
Yeah, that was funny. And they said it a couple of different times.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And the digs that they had on each other, obviously.
Yeah.
And stuff like that was just very natural. It's just very fun.
And it is that dynamic too of a person who talks too much and a person who likes the space. And so you could, those tensions kind of like, ballooned and like eased as the story went along of like, yep, this is too much. Let's boom. Now we're going to decompress a bit.
Yep.
And stuff like
Yeah. No, that was fun.
Villains were awful.
What's that?
The villains were awful.
Yes.
Cassandra Nova and Paradox.
Yes. Paradox was terrible.
Yeah.
I did not like, I don't know, his acting wasn't great.
No.
I don't think it was written very well.
No.
Maybe the writing was on purpose.
Right.
But
I think it was supposed to be an exaggerated character that was an idiot.
Right.
Which I guess he played that well.
Yeah.
But it was just too much.
It was.
Cassandra Nova was interesting. The hard part with her was like, for me at least, they plugged her in like the first third of the film, and then really didn't care about, like, I honestly didn't know if we were going to see her again too much.
Right.
And then they plugged her in for that last third of the film, and it's like, well, why can't we just develop this the whole time and talk about what agreements did they have with the TVA where this kind of threw her off,
Right.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Like I said earlier, it was not written very well. The
No.
villain wasn't. The whole movie wasn't that great a writing.
No, there's a bunch of fun lines.
Yeah.
That's what it was focused around, I would assume.
Absolutely. So obviously you have to have, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, but even then it wasn't like,
No.
it just didn't, it won't hold up. It just won't.
Right.
It's just a fun movie to watch.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
that's all it is. It's not, So,
What do you think of the Deadpool squad? Because I figured we should talk about them in actor chemistry as well, because it was a weird but also a pretty big point of the film. And a weird dog pool.
I'm really not sure I understand the why, other than they're garbage characters.
Yeah.
Because they all got sent to the garbage land.
It really makes it interesting when you look at like Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, what makes his character stand out compared to all these other ones. Because they talk about in The Void, we have hundreds of Deadpools, and they're just there. They don't ever leave or get killed. And they get like Wolverine, like you're the first Wolverine we've had here.
Right.
And so why is
because
that?
So the way I took that was Deadpool's disposable.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe it's because they break the fourth wall.
right. Like you're disposable. You're trouble. No one misses you.
Yeah. You don't have a.
Right. So I don't know if I'm right.
What do you think about Nice Pool? He was weird.
Some of these things they overplay that whole side of things.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. It's just not. They try to make it reality, I think.
Yeah.
And they just go way, way, way too far. So I mean, the percentage of people that are like that is minute.
Yeah.
And so that's whatever they're trying to do. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't get it. It's over the top.
It is.
Like,
I did like his fourth wall break. The one that he had. I can break the fourth wall too. Watch this.
yeah.
The proposal. What was that?
Yeah. No. That was funny.
The one cameo that I think was interesting is because Ryan Reynolds owns the Wrexham team. You know, there was one of the Deadpools had the flag on it.
Right.
And that was actually one of the players on Wrexham who played that Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
was fun.
Yeah. It is. So with all the things and the interactions and all that, the acting just wasn't, other than between really the two of them. Yeah. The acting wasn't phenomenal. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't phenomenal. So just because that balance wasn't there, I'm only a 3.5, 3.5.
Okay. You know that one TV agent who was like just enamored by Deadpool and Wolverine? That guy put on a better performance than what Mr. Paradox was.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
He was funny to watch.
Yes, absolutely.
I gave it 3.738. 3.7.5. 3.75. If we were just to go off of Wolverine and Deadpool, it'd be much, much higher.
Oh, much higher.
And that was a good chunk of the film, was just them.
Yes.
But obviously, too, they had all the different cameos and characters that, again, some of the cameos were hard because they were actual characters in the film, but also they weren't there long to actually develop the characters long enough. Like, they were in there for an awkward amount of time.
Yes, but that's why it's chemistry. Like, even if they're in there for a small amount of time, how are they interacting? Is it written well so that their acting interaction is it fits?
Well, I mean, that's the other. If they would have had more scenes to shoot together too, like that just naturally builds as well.
I think probably naturally, sure, but these are seasoned actors.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know. You can put things together like from a perspective of there's like voice acting.
That's true.
Right? I mean, you could even do their scenes and they're not really there together. In a lot of them, they wouldn't have had to be.
Right.
And still just that acting.
Yeah.
But anyway, cinematography, you go.
I enjoy. Well, there was one that was just one shot that or a place they went back to a few times that just looked awful. That street that they end on, kind of like when they're facing all the different Deadpools. It looked like a studio setting. It didn't look like a real place that it was supposed to be. So that was like the biggest, took me out. In the void, I did enjoy that things were like constantly popping into the void as people driving and stuff like that.
Yeah, it reminded me of Ragnarok.
Yeah. The beginning and end scenes were phenomenal.
That was Ragnarok, right?
The one where they with Hulk.
Yeah.
That's my
champion.
That's my champion. Oh, but workplace accomplice or whatever. He's my coworker. Or like, didn't he say something like when you first saw Hulk? What was it?
Oh yeah. Now I remember what you're saying. I can't remember what. Yes. Yeah.
Beginning scene was one of the best shot films intros I've seen in a long time.
Yes.
The adamantium, the way that I always enjoy when characters aren't in the scene, but they can still make it seem like that character. Like Hugh Jackman's skull, having the Hugh Jackman credit was really enjoyable. And then the end scene was, again, if I could just watch the beginning and end of this film, I'd be thoroughly entertained. But there were a lot of things that threw me off throughout the film too, of like, this doesn't make sense. Like Nice Pool, his face looked weird. Like, I think that was like, it looks CGI.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand that either.
Yeah.
Why it wasn't really like Ryan's face. Like, it almost like they tried to make it longer or something.
And then polished.
And didn't it look longer?
It almost, I don't know. It looked weird.
It did. It looked weird, and I was trying to figure that out. Yeah.
So I didn't enjoy that. So I give it a 3.9. Beginning was good. End was good. In the middle, they did weird things, but there was still well done shots within it. Like, the whole first fight with Wolverine in the void was really cool too.
So one of the things that I don't know where you bring it up, but
they can't die.
Right. They can't die. And my contact is dying. I only have one in. It's freaking out on me. But it's like something's really bothering it. Anyway, so where Nova opens up from the
sparkly
portal,
Marvel.
from right.
Portals.
The thing that I don't quite know where to bring that into, but from the standpoint of cinematography, the way they made that look and the way they brought that into the story, that didn't quite look the same to me because they didn't. What was on the other side, and
Right, they can
you know,
see
it was
yeah,
there was
just
nothing.
like a gray haze.
Yeah, so that I didn't really care for because usually it was like very like
You can see the other
defined
side.
what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
So you know that made it very noticeable. But then it also didn't fit into the. They threw that into the story somehow.
You know what else they threw in the story?
Like
Anchor beings.
anchor beans.
Beings. Like
Beings.
Wolverine.
Oh,
was like
anchor
an
beings. Yes.
Of the Fox universe, which was funny. But now when you look at all the other universes that are within Marvel, how does that make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense, and that's why they made fun of the multiverse
Yeah,
stuff. I think.
right.
I mean, it's really kind of a weird thing that they're just making more fun of.
Yeah.
So, but yes, so there's things like that the cinematography, they should have done it more to what it was like in
Consistency.
Yeah, in Doctor Strange and stuff like that. So
Again, if they want to tie into the Marvel
Right.
universe, you
It-
gotta
it just-
make it look like the Marvel universe.
right, there were some of those things out of place. So I won't go on and on and on, but overall, I think cinematography, other than a few places, did pretty good. Obviously, they spent a ton of money on it. So I'm a 4.0 on it.
Okay.
There was just a few things that took me out of it that I didn't understand, that
You
I
know-
didn't think looked good.
The other thing is the baby knife. He brought the baby knife up a few times at the beginning. I thought there was gonna be some sort of explanation.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, the overall entertainment, here it is.
First glance, it's very enjoyable.
Okay.
I think. I was very entertained. I enjoyed it. Liked the cameos. Enjoyed the story, quips, and the end credits scene. I still wish it would have tied into the bigger universe. Because here's the thing, too. This movie released over SDSCC, like San Diego Comic-Con. So we knew. So it's a hard blend. I wish there could have been like some sort of Doctor Doom. Because they know that's where they're headed.
But they might not have known while filming.
Yeah, but you do a quick. The end credit
No,
scenes
that's true.
are
That's
only
true.
like
Good
5
point.
to 10 seconds, so
Good
it's not
point.
like it would have been.
Yeah, no, good point.
I wish they would have tied into something.
Yeah,
more
that's a
than
good
that.
point. Yeah, good point.
And so, but I get it too, because technically I think that was like a Saturday night news release.
Sure. Yeah.
But I still think they could have done it and then explained it because
or they
could have done
had
the
Dr.
cameo.
Doom anyway, but not
Explain who
not
it is.
Been Robert Downey Jr.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Or it could have been, and they just don't explain who's. I guess maybe they would have.
Yeah, you would have had to do
credit.
something there. Yeah.
But yeah, so I wish they would have done that. So overall entertainment, I'm mixed. I'm giving it a 4-1. It's enjoyable. The quips are good. Ryan Reynolds is funny. I liked seeing the Fox universe explored a little bit more. I wish they would have dug deeper. But I'll definitely watch it again soon because I'm still. I don't really know why.
So here's the one thing that I would say I would have preferred them not trying to tie anything together at all.
Yeah.
For future.
Right.
Nothing for the future. Do all the past stuff, the Electrica, the Blade, that's past.
Yeah.
But not try to make some sort of tie for the future, which is what they were trying to do.
Right.
In whatever distorted way.
And they can only rely on Vanessa so often for Deadpool's movie.
Yes.
It's been all 3 films so far.
Yes. So I would have signed up wholeheartedly for this thing had they not tried to tie the future of Marvel stuff together with this. Just do the present and the past.
Don't even focus on beer film.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like,
I think that's where they got pigeonholed in this movie. Like you're saying, is that
like they kept like the Marvel Jesus. They're trying to. This is the beginning of the future.
Yeah.
And it's not.
No.
It's just not. So that's where I have the trouble with it. Like they're trying to nail this to the future, and it just doesn't work for me. It's very entertaining.
it is.
But when they're trying to, put that with the future of the franchise of Marvel Universe, I should say, not even the franchise.
Your focus of the film is just going to be wrong.
It is. It totally.
Yeah.
And so that's where I got lost. With that said, it's still a 4-3 overall entertainment for me. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
It's not going to be one that I can watch back to back to back to back.
No.
Thor Ragnarok might be one of them.
I don't enjoy Thor Ragnarok.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
And
we need to review that one soon.
Yeah, and so maybe not back to back, but
well, here's the thing: if you watch, I see you're talking about this film back. I thought you were talking about Deadpool 1, 2, 3.
No. I'm talking about like
a
a good film for me. I would not care to go see this again, probably in the theater.
Yeah,
it's just not that good.
Yeah. I only really watched it because I was conflicted and I really wanted to figure out.
No, I understand. Emotions. Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm not knocking anybody for doing it. I'm just saying, like, for me, there's not enough story for me to go back and say, okay, what did I miss in the story? Because that's what really would intrigue me the most, to go to a film another time.
Yeah.
Like Lord of the Rings. Yeah. I would have totally turned around and gone into the theater and watched it again right immediately afterwards.
Because the hard part about this film is all about these one-liners that have no impact on the film. And so for me to
while it's
rewatch
fun and entertaining, no impact.
Yeah. So for me to rewatch it, part of it was too like that I wanted to catch more of those to see how it fit in.
I totally understand that.
But story-wise was
totally understand.
I didn't miss anything watching it a second time.
Yeah.
Well,
so
a movie of the summer.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to beat this one.
Yeah, well, there's not much time left to beat it for a movie of the summer.
No, but there's Romulus is coming out, Alien Romulus. That'll be big.
Freaked out.
I think that'll be big.
The trailer came out. I watched this twice, knowing that I had to watch Romulus trailer twice because I just knew. And I actually got 2 different trailers from each theater. And no, not from each theater. I saw one trailer at one theater and a different trailer at a different theater. We're going to review it. I'm not excited.
Are you going to go for it?
Yeah, well, we kind of have to.
We kind of have to.
Yeah.
It's going to be... this should be like the first. This should be like the first film that we go to together.
Yeah. I mean, this whole summer has been a reminder of that's a film we're going to be watching soon.
Yeah.
Because it's popped up on a lot of trailer or movies I wouldn't expect them to be attached to. Because it is a very dark.
I think it'll be big.
I think it will be too. Unfortunately, I mean, I saw the scene of like I know it's a part of the Alien universe of the alien coming out of the chest, and the trailer did that, and they did a nice little let's for whatever reason decide to shine a light through this guy's body so we can really see it pop.
Right.
Why? We know there's something in there. You don't need to know what it is. If you know what it is, what are you gonna do? Run. That's what the guy said. Run. That's exactly what you need to do in those moments. Run and fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I feel. Yeah. I feel strongly about what's going to happen in this film.
And tell us how you feel. Send us a comment, hammer the like button, hammer the share button, and
send us an email at legitq@maddysmoviemix.com.
See you next time. Hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bells, because you know what? That's the best way you can support us. We appreciate it.